各位长老、各位法师，大家好。因为渐渐有了美国朋友，所以我要用英文，好不好？I explained that since there are also some American friends here today, I'll have to speak in English rather than in Chinese. I first met Venerable Renjun at Tuanyan Monastery at the Dharma camp of 2002, and he invited me to come on the way back to come see Bodhi Monastery. I came here, I saw the place, I liked it, and I wound up staying 4.5 years here. And during this time, I lived in the same corridor as Zhanglao, as Venerable Renjun, and so we became very close Dharma friends. There were certain qualities about Venerable Renjun that were quite astonishing, that impressed me throughout the whole period that I stayed with him. One was what I would call his great kindness. He was always concerned with the welfare of others, and he was always ready to do what was necessary to help them. I remember during the first few weeks that I was here, I would have regular Dharma discussions with him, and I would ask questions, and then he would explain from his point of view. Then one day he said to me, "You've been asking me questions and I've been answering them. Now I want to explain to you my standpoint on the Dharma." And then he said one sentence that boggled my mind. He said, "In this world, as long as there are people who are undergoing suffering, I can't feel content. As long as there are people whose mind is disturbed by defilements, I can't feel completely at peace myself." And this really struck me as a kind of manifestation of his great compassion. During the 4.5 years that I lived here, every week, almost every week, he would give Dharma talks, which were very well translated. And so what I picked up from his Dharma talks was a continuous emphasis on the core of the Dharma. His main theme in talk after talk was cut through the illusion of self. Give up all thoughts of I and mine. In his own life, his own style of living, he manifested those qualities. He lived very simply. His only possessions were his robes and his books. He was very concerned that everybody in the monastery used things very frugally. No wasting water, no wasting electricity, no wasting paper. He would write the outlines of his lectures on the backs of used envelopes, since he didn't want to waste paper. And the other quality that manifested in his life, that he emphasized again and again in his discourses, is the great vow, the great aspiration, the great persistence, the great perseverance. His own aspiration was to come back life after life into the human world in order to cultivate the Bodhisattva path. And I heard when I would give regular classes every week on the Majjhima Nikaya, and he would come, whenever he was here, he would come to those classes. And yet he hardly understood English. And so I asked one of the other monks, "Why is Shifu coming to my classes when he doesn't understand my level of English very well?" The other monk told me, "The reason he is coming is because in his next life, He wants to come to America and be able to speak English fluently in order to spread the Dharma. And so he's coming to your classes so that he could plant the seeds of hearing Dharma spoken in English. So when he comes back in his next life, he will be able to preach the Dhamma fluently in English. And so all of us have had the benefit of associating with him for various lengths of time. And let us all wish that his great aspiration will be fulfilled and that we too will have the opportunity to meet him again and again in the future. Thank you very much.